Hey guys, welcome back to The Great Print. I'm Amanda.
I'm Sadie.
Today we're going to be talking about whether or not someone's job affects like how you feel about dating them, towards dating them. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is all kind of coming up because of an interview done with Iyanla Vanzant. She had asked this woman if she would consider dating a bus driver, and the woman's response was if he owned the bus.
That woman is Eboni K. Williams, attorney, by the way, not just a random lady.
Eboni K. Williams. Sorry about that. Yes. So Eboni K. Williams was asked if she would date a man that drove a bus, and her response was if he owned the bus. So yeah, it turned into a pretty viral topic. And yeah, so she was ultimately looked at as like super wrong for saying that, and which I for one I agree with. I agree that like that's fucked up to say that like you wouldn't date a bus driver like
So-
unless he owned the bus. Like,
So I agree that it's fucked up, but at the same time, it's like that's her opinion. Like they asked her that question. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
but we're in a day and age where society is now so sensitive to everything you say. It's like, oh, do you like apples or oranges? And if I say I like apples, oh, but why do you hate oranges? Why don't you? It's just like, shut the fuck up. It's my preference.
but I feel like it has everything to do. But her response was like if he owned the bus, so it almost specifically, like it's specifically about like almost like his financial status, like you know, like how, like him being an owner as opposed to like what's so bad about the fact that like he drives the bus,
Right.
like you know,
being that she's an attorney, maybe she feels that she's advanced to a certain point of her career that her partner has to be more or less on the same level. That's the only way I could see that as her reason.
all right, well, then you're kind of a snob.
Yeah, but like that's the way she answered it. So I'm just like, I wouldn't answer it like that because it's like, okay, even if he owns it, is he a good person to you? Does he treat you right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be with someone that, you know, yeah, he's well off, he has this business, that business, but then treats me like complete shit or like, you know, it's embarrassing to be around. Like, who would want to be with that?
Yeah, but I feel like you could. That depends on the person. I just feel like the fact that it was specific to like, would you date this man if he had this job, and it's just like no.
Yeah.
Like that's, you know, people have to do these jobs. Like
Yeah.
to do this. Does that mean that because you are in this position that makes you undateable?
Yeah.
Like, or, I mean, I get that everyone has a certain standard, but
Right.
like I don't know, like that's like you're kind of a snob. Like
Yeah.
that's to say, you know, you're only gonna date someone that makes the same amount of money as you.
Right.
And like there are people very much in that exact
same-
situation because
yeah.
you don't want to date someone that you feel like is gonna be taking advantage of you, or
Right.
someone that's only dating you because of your financial status.
Right.
Like, so yeah, I don't know. I just
I
feel like
think-
she kind of made an ass out of
Yeah,
herself.
she did because it's just, it's not even providing a reason as to why. It's just like, oh,
If he owned it,
yeah,
like,
it's just like that's mad superficial.
yeah, you're a corn for that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's corny solely because of the fact that, damn, she can't hold a man to a higher standard. Anybody can become a bus driver. Maybe she has higher standards set for herself, that she wants somebody with some ownership. And she worked her ass off to get to where she's at, and she's just gonna settle down for a man that's got an entry-level job. Nah, fuck that. If I'm working hard and I'm getting successful, why can't I get a man that's successful as well?
But even so, I feel like, but it's like she won't date this guy unless he's like if he owns the bus, then yeah, I would date him. Like regardless, what if you really like this guy because he's not an owner? Like if you see, like if I you know meet someone and the connection's real, the vibe is real.
Yeah.
Turns out you're a bus driver, whatever. Like you're happy in your position. Like you're making ends meet. You're providing for yourself. Like
Right.
and. If I feel like you have potential, like this is what you love to do, you're passionate about this, like as your woman, like I would provide some ideas if I have like, you know, you could make some more money out of this. Like I'm not telling you you gotta go and get a whole different job, but if I feel like you could level up, like that's
within your own experience.
Yeah, like that's what partners do. Like
Right.
I'll add a little sauce to your shit. Like
Right.
you know,
'Cause I feel like, again, like what you said, it's just, all right, that's what you do, that's what your experience is. how can you take it to another level and build on it? It's like, all right, what if you have your own bus company? Or like something that you branch off of based on your experience. Like you don't have to completely shit on him just because it's not like your ideal, I guess, profession for a man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, is he providing? Does he take care of himself? Is he a good person?
That's what it is. I feel like at the end of the day, like if this man can provide what you need and everything is taken care of, at the end of the day, like, what difference does it make if he's a bus driver, like,
I feel
or
like
like any kind of city worker or whatever the hell?
And
like,
not for nothing, MTA workers have mad benefits and like things I've heard, but I just feel like in her situation, it's more like a status thing. Like, are you happy?
I feel like you said it the right way before. Like, it seems pretty superficial.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, yeah. What if you find the man that checks off all the career boxes that you want, but is a complete piece of shit to you, treats you like shit, abuses you, cheats on you, lies, manipulates, gaslights. Oh, but he has such a great job. He's an owner. He's this, he's that. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, there's risks in like in any
and
situation
I feel like,
that you enter into, but
granted, there's people that are pieces of shit with regular jobs and higher position jobs. It's just people. Because I've met people that, like, because they own certain, what do I say? I want to say material. I'm going to just be straight to the point. I was at this yacht party, and the guy that owned the boat, his brother, you could tell, like, the brother was kind of, like, mooching off the fact that, like, oh, yeah, it's my brother's boat. Okay. It's just, like, overhearing the conversation, because I'm nosy as fuck. I'm going to listen. Like, he was, like, counting how many girls were there. And, like, let's say that, I think 12 to 13, whatever. He's like, 12 reasons to get a boat. And I'm just like, ew.
oh, my God.
I'm just like, that's mad embarrassing and corny as fuck. But I'm just like, ugh.
Well,
so there's people that take, like, whatever status and make it corny.
Well, yeah, whether they're going to use it to their advantage.
Yeah, but it's just like,
But it's like you're going to appeal to that exact type of person.
Exactly.
Who's like, yo, I'm not going to date no boat, like, no bus driver. Like, where's your boat at? Like,
right, exactly. You are what you attract. So the energy you put out is the energy that's going to come back to you 3 times more.
Hey, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, some guys are totally attracted to the type of female that, like, goes after what she wants, knows what she wants, goes after what she wants. You know, it's a thing to be admired, but I feel like there's still like that line where it's like you're going after this person solely because of what they can do for you, as opposed to settling down with someone genuinely because
you love them.
Like, yeah, like you guys mesh, like you two are right for each other.
Right.
You guys never dated anybody that you were embarrassed at where they worked? Like, for example, I was dating somebody when I was working at Costco, and she was always like, yo, when we go to like our family gatherings and shit, when I go to her grandparents' house, yo, don't tell anybody, don't tell my friends what you do. Don't tell them you just do video work or some shit.
That's fucked up.
You never had to date anybody like, yo, don't tell nobody you're a garbage man or you work for DPW. Is there any job that somebody would have, like,
no,
you'd be proud of anything? Like, he's a...
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know.
As long as he's making his own money, like, I'm not trying to date a bum either.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like there's, like, you know, there's honor in, like, doing, like, hard
stuff for
work,
yourself.
like,
like
real
you're a
labor.
hardworking person. Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. That's just
a job is a job, but if you have no job at all, like, I'm not even looking your way.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, you can't teach somebody how to hustle. It got to be within them.
Okay, well, so the person that you're dating could have a job. What if they're making a lot less than you? Like, they're like a cashier at Whole Foods. That's it.
I feel like you gotta have, like, you gotta want to aspire. You gotta have dreams. Be passionate. Want to succeed in something. Like, I'm not saying that you have to aspire to be a millionaire, but, like, you know, I don't know. I would want to be with somebody that has goals. Someone that's, trying to make the best or
Make something out of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not someone that is stuck in a crappy job that doesn't pay much, but they're just gonna stick to that and they're not gonna try. Like if you hate your job, like you work hard, but like you're not happy with the job that you're in.
Right.
Like I would only hope that you're trying to do something to get out of that situation. I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that you have to want to try to be a millionaire, but like
Better yourself.
yeah,
I feel like if the person can't, I don't know what's the right way to say that, but like if the person doesn't want to better themselves or can't better themselves, they're not going to be better for you because they're not even thinking of how to level themselves up, let alone being together with someone and thinking, okay, how can we get better? What can we do to succeed as a couple?
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't even have that drive within yourself, you're not going to have that drive when you're in a partnership with someone and thinking, okay, let's say, like, you're working regular 9-to-5 jobs, whatever. But, like, what goal do you have? Is it the money that comes in, you're immediately spending it? Or are you saving it to put towards an investment property?
The next
or,
step. Yeah,
Exactly.
the next
like,
project,
the next
the next
further
move.
point to better yourself and your relationship. But, like, are you just working to just, use money as whatever day-to-day bullshit? Or do you actually have a goal?
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, you're never supposed to really like stop hustling.
Yeah.
Like it's so I would want someone that's like that has drive.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to have it all, but like you need to have some kind of vision for yourself, which will tell me everything. Because it's like, all right, as long as you want to better yourself, that makes me okay. Because if you're just there with this mentality of, oh, I hate this job, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, let's see what can you do. Like, what skills do you have that you can transfer to something else or branch out into your own thing?
No, yeah.
If like you can only feel bad for someone for so long. I'm just like, all right, like I don't got time for this pity party.
Yeah.
Everybody's got it hard. Everybody has bills. Everybody has shit that they got to do. It's just.
But if your man got a regular fucking desk job,
That's
whatever,
fine too.
and it makes him so fucking happy, like.
And that's another thing
it
too.
is
You
what it
want to
is.
be with someone that is happy.
Yep.
Because you don't want that, like, they're always in a fucking shit mood. And then when you come around them, it's like you're walking on eggshells.
I'm not trying to be misery's company.
Right. No, thank you.
Now you say that somebody just wants to have dreams to get to the next level. So what if you're dating somebody that doesn't have a job, but he's going to school full time at a SUNY school, like a city SUNY school? You know what I'm talking about? Cooney school. And he doesn't have a job, and he doesn't have that much bread on him, but the potential is there. You just gotta wait like 2 years. Can you date somebody for 2 years that's working on a degree when you have to like?
I feel like
I would,
that's honorable. Like
that's honorable because you're bettering yourself. You're not just waiting those 2 years and fucking sitting around doing nothing. Like,
and if I'm being real, like I feel like if the situation was reversed and I wanted to do something like that, I would want to be with somebody that would support me.
absolutely.
So who am I to say that I wouldn't do that? If
Right.
if I really, if I'm with the person that I really love you and stuff, and that's what you feel like you need to do,
Right.
then like, yeah, you should always be willing to back your partner up. Especially like 2 years it's not short, but like it's a blip.
It goes by so fast.
Compared to, if we're talking about a lifetime with someone.
But
like,
if you're just taking that time to do nothing, I can't stand by that.
yeah.
Like, nothing at all? No.
But that's not easy. That's hard as shit. But yeah, I feel like if it's, if you find the person that you want to be with forever and it's all lovey-dovey and whatnot, then like you should be willing to do that.
I feel like it's
do
not
that much.
hard to support the person you love and care about because you want to see them do good. And obviously, if this is something long term, your guys are going to do good together. So
Yeah. And I feel
you
like
have to take everything into consideration. Every decision you make, whether individually or as a couple, will affect your relationship overall.
And I feel like with stuff like that, like you got to get it in your head that it's momentary. Like,
Yeah.
even talking 2 years, going back to school, whatever, like you blink and it's over and it's done and it's you're better for it. So
Right.
like you ever find yourself in a situation like that, like you should be doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like your partner is trying to better themselves, like you should be supporting them.
Now, going back to that interview with Eboni K. Williams, do you feel like Iyanla Vanzant was trying to guilt her into lowering her standards? Because I feel like women, are, are allowed to have who's to say, who's to judge, and who's to make the call of what I'm allowed to, what my preferences.
So the way that I didn't see it as her trying to get her to lower her standards, I kind of took it as just like almost like broaden your horizons. Like you could very well be walking away from great men just because of something like
superficial.
well, yeah, like you're kind of closing the door on yourself, like because of these like blinders that you have on. Like who's to say that, a bus driver isn't the perfect person for you? Like you're kind of like shutting off that opportunity before you even give yourself a chance.
And then not for nothing, like let's say he's a bus driver, but that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have anything in his bank account. That doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have any goals or anything else that he's working on. It's just you need your 9 to 5 to support your 5 to 9. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to work at my job forever? Fuck no. But this is what's paying the bills. This is what's getting me by until I get to where I want to be. So I feel like, one, I've seen a lot of her shows of, Fix My Life. I really want to be there and be like, just fix me, please.
Yeah, she be going in on people
I know.
too. Like
I be crying just watching. I'm like, yo, she will violate me.
I like it. Sounded like it is.
Right. But I don't think she's wrong, but I don't think she's right either. Because again, everyone has their preferences. Is it mine? No, I don't agree with her views at all. Eboni. I don't agree with Ebony's views. Mm-hmm. But is she wrong for having her own views? No. She's not wrong. It's just I don't agree.
I feel like, but is it a standard or is it like you're being judgmental?
I think that it's her preference. Look, she's a lawyer. She can make her own schedule. When you're a bus driver, you gotta request PTO, and I'm going to fucking Egypt for Cairo for a vacation. You gotta request time off and shit. Like you gotta find somebody to cover your shifts. Who's got time for that? You gotta like I put my time in. You're not at my level. You're literally not at my level, and and I'm not gonna have you in your area. There's nothing wrong with your job, but it's gonna slow me down. Literally gonna slow me down.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm seeing it as. If she was like a regular person on the street.
Sorry, but that's the thing though, is that it wasn't like how like our schedules just would never match up. Like, we have to keep what she said in mind. It wasn't anything like that. Like I can't date him because, when are we gonna find time for each other? It was like, oh, I would date him if he owned the bus. Like if he put himself in a position, in a higher position before I even met him, then that's what she's implying. Like she would consider to date him if he was a man of a different status. It, it wasn't, I feel like it's not so much like our lifestyles just, they don't really match up. Our schedules will be different. It's like she kind of shut it down before that thought process even.
Yeah.
I feel like she probably dated owners in the past. I feel like, let's say I was going to work at a Costco again. God for fucking bid. I work at Costco again. And they were like, yo, Angela, you could be a cashier or you could become a floor manager. What you going to do? I'm gonna pick to be a floor manager. Yeah. And I'm gonna listen to the employees. Oh, you too good to start from the bottom. You don't want to work with us. Nah, fuck that. I know my qualities. I know my standards. So I'm gonna start off as a manager.
That's different, but that's different though because you're taking advantage of an opportunity that's right in front of you. I feel like that's totally different. And you're saying like you would never, God forbid you had to work at Costco's again.
Lord
but if
mercy.
you ever found yourself in a position where that was the first and only thing that you could grab onto as a means to an end, like that's, in my eyes, like that's honorable. Rather than sitting around and being upset that you're not getting the job that you want, right now you're doing what you got to do to make sure that your bills are paid, if you're able to feed your family or whatever, may have you.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that's still someone worthy of being with. Like if you're, I feel like as a woman, like me being me, if I'm entering into a relationship, I love this man, like you're struggling, like let's sit down, I'll help you try to figure it out. What is it that you want to do? Like,
Right.
you know, if I can help you come up with a plan to make that happen, then we could do that together.
There
like,
has to be a level of vulnerability also until it gets to that point, because I feel like, what is it they say? Politics, financial, there's things that like you don't bring up at all in the beginning. But like if this is someone you're going to be with and make a lot of life choices together, yeah, you're going to know each other's finances. We're going to know like what habits you have, what habits I have.
Right.
Where can we, you know, kind of cut certain expenses. And, you know, if this is someone you want to take serious, I don't think it should dictate like what they do to get their money. It's just like, that's how they're getting by. It's not, and I don't know, I just feel like there's other problems that a person could have that I would see as like, all right, if they have a gambling problem, if they have a drinking problem, so all your checks are going to that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's other things that I would see in a person that I'm like, that's not a person to be with.
Yeah, there are plenty of reasons
But
why.
but I wouldn't
why
take their
possibly
career
not work
into
out.
a reason as to not be with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because what if they're just really good at what they're doing and they're at the highest level of their shit, and then like they get a promotion, or you know, and it's something they love to do.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
like-
just shut it out.
That's like saying you wouldn't want to be with you wouldn't date a person if they're a teacher.
Right.
Like, you know, and even at that, like you want to talk about schedules and whatnot. Teachers get all summers off, you know,
Yeah.
not always, but usually that's pretty common.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. But teachers don't make shit tons of money unless you're like a college professor or like a
Or a
principal.
principal, yeah.
Like teachers aren't, but that's honorable. You know, I keep using this word honorable, but like that's an honest day's fucking work.
Yeah.
You know, like that's. So yeah, I just feel like you shouldn't shut someone down just because of their job. Like
Yeah.
if you're dating a good person, you know,
And they have a good mindset. They have goals, and
I got one last question.
Yeah.
Are you, so when you date somebody, do they already have to come with this motivation, or could you build them up, be like, yo, look, I see the potential in you, bro. You doing this right now. You know you doing DPW right now, but you could really start your own snowplow business and not have to work, you know, for these people at 5 a.m. every morning. Could you manage that, or you got to come already motivated? Because I ain't gonna do it for you.
I feel like I've dealt with that, and it's not easy to. Okay, so this is like a past relationship. I was with somebody, basically he didn't have shit to his name until he built himself up, whatever. But it's very hard to be with someone and kind of like instill that motivation, because they kind of have it at first. You know, it could be like something in the back of their mind, like, oh yeah, like I was thinking of doing that. And you could be that push, like, okay, do it. Like I see that you can be really good at this, that, and the third.
right.
But I'm not going to teach you to want better for yourself.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to
Like
teach you.
the drive.
Yeah. You got to come with wanting more for yourself.
Yes, like you said it perfectly. Like you have to want it. You can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped.
And you, exactly, you can't, you know, place job opportunities or whatever onto somebody's lap, and, you know, they got to go for it themselves, and vice versa. You know, like any guy that's looking to date any woman, she has to have the drive for herself as well. She has to have a mind of her own and think, okay, this is where I'm at, this is where I want to excel, this is what I need to work on. There's a level of accountability that everybody has to take in order to better themselves, because you got to be real with yourself. It's like, damn, I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm not where I need to be. I really got to fucking sit myself down and regroup everything I got to do.
Yeah. But
You know, I'm not saying you got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do.
But I feel like I've definitely done exactly that. Ugh, I just like bit my tongue out.
I hate that for you.
You guys didn't see that. But I've done, you know, like exactly that, where there's times where I'm a little flustered and I gotta get organized with like my goals and figuring out what I want to do. And I gotta get myself motivated. So I can understand, like, you know, you never know when you're gonna fucking meet someone, like,
Right.
or what state of mind you guys are gonna be in, or if you're whatever. So if you just so happen to start caring about a person and they're not in the best mindset where they're pushing themselves and they're motivated. Like, they could have something that they want to do, but if they're not motivated, I'm not totally against like giving you that extra push. Or you know, I've definitely encountered times where I have met a good guy that it's weird because like I feel like I've been into like kind of situations like this. Not necessarily that I'm looking to date this guy, but there's times where like I've come across as a decent guy and there are things that he wants to do and shit, but you're dealing with a person that's like not very organized in their thought process on like what am I gonna do first to try to get this going.
That's different. Like if you genuinely want to help the person, like yo, like let me help you figure this out.
But that's exactly where I'm coming from. Where it's like, well, stuff like that, I'm actually pretty good at like laying out somewhat of a game plan.
Right.
So like with something like that, if that's what's missing for you, and that's what you need to kind of get yourself started, get yourself motivated. Like I'm your girl. Like I got you. Like I got you. I'll get you on the path.
That's a fact.
Get you on the path. So I'm not against like, you know, giving a person an extra push.
I'm not against helping somebody, but I'm against doing all the work for somebody.
But that's why I said like you can't help someone. You can't help someone that doesn't want to be helped.
There's a very thin line with helping someone and then like holding their hand in every little fucking thing.
Exactly. So if you're giving someone advice and whatnot, and they're just kind of giving good, but then you see not too long after
there's
that like
no progress.
Yeah, there's no follow through. There's no action being put into anything. Like, you know, take it for Take it for face value. Is that right?
Yeah. I think you said it right.
But yeah, you know, what you see is what you're gonna get.
And that's how I feel.
And that, my friends, is how the cookie crumbles.
I think that kind of wraps up this episode on your dating preferences in regards to their career, what society thinks, how you think.
Yeah, don't always judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
You know, have a heart. Be a good person.
Don't be a piece of shit.
Lower your standards, man.
Don't lower your standards, but you know, don't block yourself off from good men just because you're kind of being a snob.
Right. Don't be a bitch.
Know when you're being a snob. Yeah, if you want to you want to date a guy that drives a bus, as long as he's passionate about it, and that's exactly what she said. You know, if he loves driving the bus, let him be happy. You know, love it for him.
Yeah, love that for him.
But yeah, that wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, I definitely never looked at a guy's job and said, no, I'm not going to be with you. I just look at it as, okay, good. You're working.
Yeah. Do our goals align?
Right.
Like, you know.
Do our goals align? Does our mindset align? Does our values, you know, whether it comes to family things, just I think more so future things. Because I'm always like, all right, what am I doing next? Where am I going? You know, you don't have everything figured out. I just feel like as long as you're with a person that wants to figure it out with you, doesn't matter what they're doing for their job. They have their own income.
Exactly.
So that's how I feel about that. That wraps up today's episode of the Gray Print Podcast. The link is in our bio to catch us on all streaming platforms. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Guys.